Styling my stomach because apparently a lot of people don't know that different body types do exist. There's this mentality that if you don't have a flat stomach, then you can't or shouldn't show it off and that you have to try to hide it as much as possible. And I just do not fuck with that. Like, I'm gonna style it, I'm gonna show it off, I'm gonna give it the love it deserves because this is my body and I deserve that. A lot of people body shame me and try to make me feel inferior, but different body types do exist and none of them are something to be ashamed of. I'm always gonna wear what makes me feel good.
Not hiding it is one thing, but intentionally emphasizing it isn't strange.
That's grand, but I just want to point out it's not a body type. You're choosing to be this way, which is fine but not natural.
Well, you'd probably be ashamed of the body you got from binging a lot and stuff, but go off IG.
Ha 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 ha, no. Showing your butt-cracked stomach isn't styling it.
Obesity fact. The extra weight of obesity costs airlines $275 million per year.
Ah, the incels have found my video. I said the word dating and fat in the same sentence and they've all come to tell me. Have I thought of just not being fat? Have I thought of trying that? I'm gonna give you the real honest answer in good faith. There's a few of them, but what it boils down to is it's not worth it. Contrary to popular belief, being fat actually doesn't mean that I have never thought of dieting. It's never occurred to me. No, I went on my first diet when I was 10 years old and I was on a diet pretty much solidly, constantly for the next 12 years. Never did my weight change drastically unless I was starving myself or doing restriction extreme enough that my period stopped. I don't know what you know about health, but it's actually not healthy. You're actually supposed to have a period if you have a uterus. Like that's something that's supposed to happen. So instead of trying to make myself skinny so that people would like me, I decided that I was going to focus on myself and do things that make me feel good. Because when I stopped eating, I couldn't think, and I am a master's student, so I do need to think on the daily. I also had no energy to exercise, and I had all-consuming thoughts of food all the time. So instead, what I do now of eating a balanced diet and eating enough to function is I function. I have been through the ringer, I have done every diet you could name, and I have come out the other side knowing that in order to have a happy life, I have to do something that's more balanced and sustainable. And unfortunately, my genetics and my medical conditions and things like that mean that doing that, I'm going to be fat. And it's not worth it to me to go through what I went through and put myself through for 12 years so that people like you will want to have sex with me more, especially when I already have a pretty happy life, relationship, and friendships. If it was that easy to be thin, we would all be thin by now, because you'd have to be crazy to want to be fat. But if you really want to help, you can Venmo me for a gym membership.
So you want to say that you don't want to be fat? Such a fat phobic, and no one says being thin is easy, but it's worth it. Wow, I can't believe we've found the one woman who disproves the laws of thermodynamics.
Okay, so you know losing weight only works with sustainable but can't do that, so you're happy getting fatter cause you won't stay same or lose Sue. I go to the gym and see literally disabled pregnant women in there, but the fat girlies with 2 legs and arms always have medical limitations.
Obesity fact. Different ethnic groups have differing rates of obesity.
Resemblance is uncanny.
Obesity fact. 1 in 5 deaths since 2013 have been due in part to obesity. What is this logic? It's meant in general. There will always be exceptions. Obesity fact. Shocking. Obesity now affects our pets too.
For the millionth fucking time, existing as a fat person is not promoting obesity. Loving your body and being confident about your body is also not promoting obesity. So fuck off.
Golly, having access to all that food kind of makes you privileged.
Obesity fact. Snacking started after World War II and is now one of the biggest causes of obesity.
kinda wish I was that rib.
Time for meat.
Obesity fact. Hunger pangs are in the mind and not the stomach.
Welcome to FaceTime for the Fats, a series where I, a fat, talk about things that only plus-size people will understand. I just went to the gym, and while I was there, I was finally able to verbally articulate a feeling that I have felt in spaces just with other humans around in general, especially ones that include movement, for the first time in my life. So today was a lifting day, I was doing some deadlifts, and I noticed myself being very, on edge, in the sense where I felt myself building up a wall around me, emotionally. And my eyes were on other people like a hawk, making sure they weren't looking at me. And that if they were, I would be on the defense already, being like, you can't touch me, I already see you, sort of thing. And I had to stop myself, and I was like, what are we doing this for? Where is this coming from? Because not a single soul was looking at me, not one. Everyone was minding their own business, which is honestly why I like the gym that I go to, because everyone truly does mind their own goddamn business. And I had to be so gentle with myself in that moment, because I was like, Deanna, you have been subjected to stares, to laughs, to mockery of your body, and if not your body, the body of someone else who looks similar to you, for your entire fucking life. Of course it makes sense when you're doing something that, especially for someone in a larger body, can be very vulnerable, such as going to the gym, that you're gonna be on guard, fight or flight, trying to protect yourself, even when in the moment there isn't really a threat. And once again, these boys, the people around me, they were not doing a thing. They were just working out.
Why do you all say, larger bodies, instead of fat or obese?
And so all of this to say, this was a wonderful reminder for me that while, yes, it is important to have a sense of self that keeps you safe and secure from genuine, real fatphobic threats, it's also equally as important to recognize that you have been through so much already. And if you are still fat, that you probably continue to go through things like this at one point or another, and that in the long run, you're not doing yourself any favors by sitting and stewing in that place of hypervigilance. And I'll be the first one to say that is so much easier said than done, because look what I just told you. It happened to me today. Not to mention other factors that play into trauma and whatnot. There's a lot of nuance that can't be discussed right here in one little TikTok. But you are so worthy of being able to let your guard down. You are worthy of moving through the world with ease. And you are worthy of peace. Just as you are.
You are so eloquently spoken. You are worthy of ease, just wow.
Yes. My therapist told me if you don't have a positive experience with movement before age 11, you will always feel anxious during.
Obesity fact. Only 2% of kids in the US eat healthy.